All right, hey, ladies and gentlemen, all across the globe, welcome to another time with Mr. Deon, Mr. Nigel, and Miss Miriam, guys, on our global discussion on mental health and illness and solutions. Hey, your host today is Kevin Vaughan here in the U.S., Nigel over in UK. We got Deon down in Australia, just south of the border there, south of the equator, if you will. And we got the beautiful Miriam. She is traveling. We will not divulge her location because she is on top secret assignment right now. So we'll just
Okay.
let it, but she's from Norway, but we will not let you know where she's at today. So we just thank God for everybody listening today. Hey, appreciate you so much. I want to turn this time over to Deon. Deon, thank you so much for your time today as well. God bless you.
Thank you for the so the ones that are listening to this in real time,
Yeah,
and also to the ones that are listening to the recording after we finish tonight's
yeah,
session. It's been a week of really observing a lot of people that are alone. And sometimes, like last week, I just needed some me time, or Miriam's having her me time.
yeah,
It's important that you take the time to rest where you need, especially in the busy lives that we all lead. The one that's come up this week in my awareness is observing a lot of lonely people. If you see someone on their own,
yeah,
whether it's elderly or someone even that has a disability,
yeah,
stop and say, "Are you okay today?"
yeah,
Hugs are free.
yep,
Sometimes just go up to someone, "Would you like a hug today?"
yeah,
And it doesn't cost you anything. They're free.
nope,
And quite often, sometimes that one small sentence
mm-hmm.
can light someone's day up, or even months, or even year. Because there's a lot of elderly, a lot of people at different stages of life with suffering from disabilities or mental health issues. But always ask if it's okay to hug them. Do not just go up and then grab someone.
You're right, exactly.
But if you see, especially if you see someone that's on their own, and they might be feeling a bit out of sorts,
Yeah,
just stop and say, "Are you okay today?"
right. Yeah,
It's a simple question. You'll get a simple answer.
yep,
As we were talking about a moment ago before we started the recording,
yeah,
how many times have you said, "Oh, I'm okay, thanks," but you're really not?
right.
Because quite often we're so uncomfortable about being open the way we might feel like crap. But what would happen if you said, "Oh, I just feel like shit today. I don't, not things are a struggle."
Mhm.
If you're actually honest enough to say how you're really feeling,
Right.
you might be surprised at how people do react. They might be saying, "Well, would you like a hug today?" Or,
Yeah. Yeah.
how can I help you? Or how can I support you?
Just go get a cup of coffee or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Even if you just take them somewhere and buy them a coffee and just sit and let them talk.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people just want someone to listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the ones that are listening to the recording of this, or they're listening to this live, just remember that simple statement: "Are you okay today?"
There you go.
Doesn't take much.
Nope.
It's only a short sentence,
Yep.
but say it from the heart.
Yep.
Say it's something that you should mean.
Yeah.
It should mean something to you, because someone did that with me quite a long time ago now, but it meant a lot at the time.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And the some things that came from that was incredible.
Yeah.
Simple sentence: "Are you okay today?"
Right. Yep. I love it.
Miriam?
Yeah. Yeah, super important. Absolutely. To just be there for each other and see. Right now, I do something I've never done before. I traveled to Africa by myself for 2 weeks on a big island on Sol. I'm here just by myself. I'm single, so stay by myself. And I thought, how will this be? I went over, and the apartment I rent wasn't even, so I was without any place to stay. And I meet so many people on my way to find a new place and will guide me and help me and to be there with me, invite them for dinner. So yes, it's been amazing to meet all these people and just let it flow and just open up yourself to receive. My biggest issue being that I'm a doer, always do everything for everyone else, take care of everyone else around me, but I never prioritize myself, or not so, I'm not so good for it. So just to be in a place that I can't do anything, I just can be and let me be and just relax. That is really important, like you say. So we need to have this me time, going back to ourselves and to just be and just let it flow and meet these people who are meant to be, because so far it's just been amazing to see all these things, have this house, have everything around me, and everything have sold out in a way I would never imagine by myself. So just trust the God, the universe guidance. We don't need to have all the answers. Sometimes we try to plan everything in detail, but sometimes we just need to trust and just to be and just be in the flow as well and see how everything end up in the right way.
So, Miriam, in your own life, and Nigel and Kevin, I'll ask you the same questions. Has anybody ever come up to you in your life and just ask if you are okay? And how many times have you given an honest reply?
I am doing it all the time. And here in Africa, you have a lot of people. People in Africa is much more like that than we have in Scandinavia. Scandinavian, no one asks you, are you okay? Everyone look at you, but no one asks you how you are. But in Africa, everyone asks you. Every single person you meet is everything okay? How are you doing? Where are you from? But like you said, it's so easy to just stay at home and everything's fine because we don't want to show who we are or show our weakness. We want to have pretend to be someone or have that everything should be okay. Instead, to be honest, that today I have a really bad day, and I believe everyone have that. We can't be on top all the time. We need to have time in our life we can relax, allow ourselves to have a bad day as well, to take care of ourselves, to find back to ourselves, the wisdom we have within ourselves, the life within ourselves. We don't have this struggle in life. We can't even be the best person for ourselves. Everything's connected. Everything has two poles. And to be able to grow, we need to have both sides in life.
Nigel, same question.
I can't remember. Yeah, I've been very quickly thinking about it. I can't remember any people do ask you, but I think these days I tend to tell, rightly or wrongly, I tell the truth. I think you should be true to yourself. And if somebody asks you how you doing today, and as you say, I'm all right, or I've had this problem, or I've had, and just to offer, but not to go into too great a detail and like scare them off, sort of thing. Well, I've had a bit of a problem with such and such, but I'm getting over that. Or yeah, there's this going on. But I think to ask people, just like you say, simply, how are you? Or are you okay today? And it can start off. It can also start off a conversation. You might be able to get friends with them eventually. And that's how a lot of the stuff I do on Facebook to get people into my business is just simple conversation. How are you? Where you from? What you doing? What you do? And you can get you can break the ice and get talking with people like that. You don't have to go into a great lengthy conversation about yourself or very often people like to talk about themselves. So ask about them.
Yeah.
How are you? Where you from? Or what do you like doing? What you and they that breaks it and they can get conversing about themselves then.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very good book I read. I've read it a couple of times now. It's probably heard of it. It's by a guy named Les Giblin. It's called Skill with People. And basically, the summary of the book is all about them. People like to talk about the job, the career, the relationships, the hobbies, the work. And you can get people to talk for hours on all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Deon smiling.
I know it's funny because Sudi, when you said that, as you know, I don't want to chat.
Oh, I never noticed that, Deon. I thought you were
It's because my mum said to me once, "I think you are vaccinated with a gramophone needle, son, because you never shut up." But then I do love a conversation.
Yeah.
It's funny because I don't drive.
Normally.
And I get the Ubers and kind of often end up in some
Breaking
interesting
up a bit, Deon.
conversations.
Got a little buffering going on there, Deon.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah, no problem.
I've turned everything off. Yeah, because I get a lot of Ubers, taxis.
Mhm.
I quite often end up into some very interesting conversations,
There
Yeah.
you go.
Mhm.
and I quite often talk about just ask how they are to start with, and then they ask you what. And my interesting question for most of them is, "What do you think I do for a job?" They never get it right, but anyway.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
oh, mate, you know what I do, but actually, do you know what I do, Nigel?
Well, you're a healer, aren't you? You're a healer.
Yeah.
Basically,
Like, yeah, quite. I've got anything from a salesman
Yeah.
yeah, it's been
A
interesting.
minister. How about minister? Someone think you're a minister?
Oh yeah, someone said I look like a Greek Orthodox minister when I had
Yeah.
some sort of hat or something on.
Right.
That
Exactly.
was funny. But just start a simple conversation.
Yeah.
But you'll get a sense whether to continue it or not.
Hmm.
But it comes back to simplistics.
Yeah.
We make things way too complicated in this life.
Yeah, we do.
less
And
is
one of the
more.
biggest things I find with
I think that's Brother Patrick.
Nigel, with Patrick, sorry,
Mhm.
is with young families. They're using phones and tablets as a childminding tool.
Mhm.
It's time we allow our kids to be kids again. Otherwise, they're going to end up with all sorts of mental and social issues.
Right.
They're not communicating with the. All of a sudden, you might find you can't communicate with your kids because their heads are stuck in a tablet or a phone.
Yeah.
They've lost the art of conversation. This constant thing about parents shoving devices in front of their kids,
Yeah.
that's not parenting. But unfortunately, we live in such a busy way of living these days. Quite often, the parents are the
Yeah.
working poor because they're struggling to pay mortgages off or rent or whatever.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, then they use the devices as a childminding tool. And I've observed some people in my own life, and no, I wouldn't allow it. But anyway, that's just me. Kids should be playing out, hanging out in trees, riding bicycles, and getting dirty, and
Yeah.
just having fun, being a kid.
Yeah. Exactly.
Encourage your children to be children, not young adults.
That reminds me, you've took me way back in time when I was a kid. Me and the lads, me and my mates, we used to jump the brook. There was a little brook. We used to sit, and very often one of us tumbled in and went home soaking, went to his mother covered in slime.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Those sort of things are fun, We're too wrapped up in technologies. Yes, well, yes, it's good in that sense,
Mhm.
but this AI things should be used less and less because we're becoming the living.
Yeah.
We're relying on this AI technology too much.
Yeah.
Even in Zoom, I've noticed there's this new AI companion at the bottom. Why do we need it? We don't need it.
Right.
You're an intelligent human being. Why do we need AI everything?
Right. Right.
If it's in your phone, everywhere you turn,
I've used AI for research and content creation.
making.
I think that it's really important to understand how it works, because in the future it will be much more IA technology. So it's important to see how can we use it and how can we learn from it. At the same time, it's also really important that their kids grow up and that we spend time for ourselves, find our inner life ourselves, because everyone in life struggle. Everyone want to have success in a life, but the truth is that you just see the top of the iceberg. You see all the work behind or under. And to be able to have the success you want in life, is that it's relationship or good paid work or whatever, a good business, everything have the price, and the price is that you give yourself, find back to yourself. And when we learn, our kids grow up to trust themselves, when they trust themselves, the order as well, it's so much more easy to have the thought we need to be able to create the future and create the life we want to have, achieve the success we want in life. But everything starts with self, or my own mindset. Find back to ourselves, believe in ourselves, trust ourselves, so we can be able to achieve this thing. And then we can use, for example, technology around us, because we're not based on it, but that's a tool we can use for ourselves. But we have it grounded by ourselves. We're grounded in ourselves, or wisdom, the light within ourselves. That's why it's so important to take time for yourself, show that allow us to be and to receive things in our life, so you can be able to create the success and create the thing we want in life and create the life. And to see that everyone around us struggle, everyone have their own path. No one have an easy life. It don't exist. Everyone has struggled. But it's so important to stay there in this mind. See how can we switch your mindset? How can we learn from it? And how can we do something different? When things happen in life, like when I went down and I didn't have any place to stay for 2 weeks and everything was sold out, it wasn't easy. I know I've been myself and I should stay on an island, isolated, and everything is sold out. How can I? I don't want to stay on the beach. I could be quite scary. But at the same time, it is to trust, trust and believe that we have everything within ourselves. We just need to open up. We need to see things from a new angle. And at the same time, in the rest of their life as well, how can we act differently? How can we learn from our past? How can we create the life we want to have? And how can we get even better person that we have within ourselves?
And as you change, your children will change.
Yeah.
Because that then flows down through your family.
Yeah.
Because we're connected to our family through an energy field. Because we have our personal field, around that we have our family field. Then around that we have the superconscious field, and then around that is the quantum field. But as you change, they will change.
Yes.
And if you're showing by example that you can be compassionate, forgiving, understanding, and then to show that you can create a different life for yourself, and then they'll see that what's possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know in my own life, as I've changed dramatically, it's given my youngest son the confidence to do things that he would have not necessarily done before, because my son has autism, but he's done things that he might not have done otherwise. But it's important that you show by example.
Yeah.
And yes, AI has its place.
Right.
But also we need to bear in mind, if you're speaking into an AI product, they're recording your voice. And that can be manipulated.
Right.
And I'm coming back to the original concept and the premise of tonight is that, are you okay today?
Right.
We did wander a bit off track, but the main premise of tonight is just to stop and really sort of say to someone that might be on their own,
Yeah.
if they're away in a place where they might not have been before, like where Miriam is at the moment, have the faith and the trust in yourself that what you need will come.
Right.
And whether it's the faith in God or faith in yourself or faith in others, faith is an interesting word.
Mm-hmm.
It has many different ways of being interpreted.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many people that have lost faith in themselves and others and life. But there's simple tips and techniques that we've talked about since we've been doing this mental health and this global discussion. So ever since we started, I look back when we first started doing this, and it's super important in my own life and the lives of all of us that we continue doing this week to week.
Yeah.
The simple techniques like we were discussing last week about the pressure points.
Yeah.
There's one I want to demonstrate tonight, which is another simple one. It's based on the acupuncture pressure points around the ear.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just all like to stop, we'll all try and do it at the same time. I just take my glasses off. It's a matter of this might sound weird, but you just put your finger in your ear. I'll do it first. Just put your finger in your ear and just rotate your finger clockwise and do it anti-clockwise.
Mm-hmm.
You just do that and then just put pressure in your ear. Just do that for 3 breaths.
Mm-hmm.
And then you grab the top of your ear,
Mm-hmm.
you pull it out, then up. You do that for the count of 3. And then you grab the earlobe at the bottom, you down, then out. You do it for the
Wow.
and then you put it in your ear again, and then push it into this like just where the ear hole is. Just slide your finger up, and then there's another flat section.
Mm-hmm.
Put pressure on it, then push up, then rotate clockwise and anti-clockwise for 3 breaths. And you do it in that cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Even just doing that, it's interesting how much more relaxed you can, because there's different, and each pressure point is connected to a different organ of your body.
Wow, that's great.
I learned this through an American Chinese acupuncturist that I worked with for quite a while.
Mm-hmm. And Deon, that's without music, right? With or without music, is that correct?
There's no music needed.
Yeah.
What I found interesting, sometimes it'll trigger things.
Yeah.
For me, one of the things that brought up when we were doing that was when I had a stroke years ago. It triggered something. So that's all so triggered points. But if it does, just let it come into it. Allow the energy of it to flow. Even the simple, just even if you put your thumbs behind your earlobes and just pull down and away.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll all do it together.
Mm-hmm.
Then grab the top of your ear and pull it up and out. Do this 3 times. And as you're breathing in and out, then just grab the sides of around this perimeter of your ear. Just go around the perimeter of your ear.
Yeah.
And just grab it and then pull it out away from your ear.
Yeah.
And you'll notice your whole body will just relax. Then you grab there's that sort of that little flap of skin at the front of the ear hole.
Yeah.
You start at the top of it and just gradually work your way down to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me that your whole body isn't just relaxed.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
It helps the tension move away.
There you go. The tension right there. Yeah, that's it.
And the other one is you cup your hands, you put it behind your neck, work your way down, and you just the cupping motion
Mm.
and just keep, and it just releases the tension.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, well, stand on, if you have to sit on the edge of your seat to do this, you put one hand on each side of your back where your kidneys are, and just move your hands up and down where your kidneys are, and just massage where your kidneys are.
Yeah.
Because what are we holding our kidneys? Emotions. So you just massage them.
Yeah.
You gradually look side to side, so you're looking behind yourself. So what's that doing? Nothing to be afraid.
Deon, you're buffering a little bit.
Froze again.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not.
I want to
Can't hear him.
see.
Yeah, I'll be back in a few seconds. Deon, you're buffering if you can hear us okay. You're buffering and freezing. So we might have to repeat what you said earlier. Amen.
Frozen, I think.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah, Miriam, you want
What is
to
it?
say a few words?
No, it was important. Like Deon said, to use different kind of exercises can help us to relax. You don't need to be so much, but just a few things and in a daily basis, you can be much more free and have much more relaxing. Because when you're relaxed, they also open up to our inner self and be able to create and be in the state of mind because everything is flowing.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining
The
us,
next one is very.
you back with us, Deon? Oh, he'll be back in a little bit.
Again, yeah.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Deon's down in Australia. I'm just excited about the connection that we have now. So that's pretty good. So, hey, we're on the global discussion on mental health. We are talking about a question. We want to know, have you asked a question? And has the question been asked to you? Are you okay today? That's what Deon has been sharing with us, and Miriam and Nigel and I have been talking about today. Are you okay today? Deon, you back with us, my friend? Amen. Amen. So he's still coming in. So we thank God.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we're still buffering a little bit, Deon, on that side. Problem. But Nigel, any further words in this area? This is so powerful, and it just so powerful and simple.
Well, the question, yeah, the question of the moment, yeah, it's just,
Yeah, are you okay today?
it doesn't have to be a long-winded,
Right.
soliloquy. It can just be as simple as that.
Yeah, just engagement, right?
And
Just
you never know what's going to happen, it's
Yeah.
engagement.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And by asking a question, not making a statement like saying,
Yeah,
today or it's ready today. By asking a question, you're prompting an answer, you're prompting interaction,
right.
and then you can follow on from then on, take it accordingly.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so important today to engage with people. It always get excited about. I'm in the grocery store and nobody's talking. I mean, nobody's saying anything to anybody. Everybody's going about their way, but nobody's saying hi or or can I help you with something or whatever. Just amazing. So yeah, it's very important that we engage with
I
people.
read a book I read some years ago. It was a Christian book. I forget who the author was, but the title of the book was about evangelizing. Going up to people, and
Yeah,
you might remember it. You guys, it was called. It's just a walk across the room.
yeah,
That's all you got to do. Just walk across the room and talk to
yeah,
simple as that. It sounds as simple as that.
absolutely.
I can't think who wrote the book. It's been some years ago. I read it.
Mhm.
It's just a walk across the room. Just as simple as saying,
Right.
"Are you okay today?"
Yeah. Especially with
Anyone?
especially with our elderly, it's so important to engage with our elderly and those who are seniors, if you will, as well as Deon mentioned earlier. Yeah. Very, very important.
Okay, can you hear me properly now?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little
The
better.
next one we're going to do is call it EMDR. They're eye movements.
I know about that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we're all going to do it at the same time.
Okay.
So we start with you're moving from your bottom left to your top right. You do that 12 times diagonally.
Okay.
Then you do it the opposite, bottom right to top left. You do it then diagonally that way.
Mhm.
Then you go go around 12 times in either direction.
Gotcha.
It's called EMDR. It's used in mental health things to get you out of your head.
It's for using things like PTSD. I've been reading a book on it actually.
Yeah, it's really important. It's a simple technique
Wow.
that anybody can do. I
Yeah.
learned it when I did pranic healing because I'm a master pranic healer.
Yes, sir.
And just simple things like that. If you're feeling tense or stressed, just stop, do those eye movements and just sit for a few minutes
Mhm.
and that'll dissipate.
Wow, that's great.
Eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, EMDR.
And that,
And
Wow. It's amazing how
yeah,
simple that is,
yeah.
Mm.
And the other thing is that other point that I showed last week, you
Mhm.
come down to that V bone in your neck and slide your finger down, and you'll
Mhm.
find there's a small sort of recess in
Yeah.
that bone, and just put pressure on it for a minute,
Wow.
and you'll automatically, it's a rescue point. If you come across someone that's had a trauma or stressed,
Mhm.
you either ask them if you'd like them to do it for them or get them to do it for themselves, and just put pressure on that point because the emergency rescue people use it here in Australia.
Gotcha.
It's a very simple thing.
Wow.
And the other one I talked about was cupping your hands underneath your
Right.
kneecap.
Yeah, that's
If
the one.
someone's had a traumatic or event, or
Yeah.
if they're being triggered by something that's caused them to have a meltdown, you don't need drugs. You don't need anything like that. Your body can heal itself. I've proven that.
Wow.
But these simple techniques that have been taught to me, and some of them come from the spirit world,
Right.
is because in my own healing practice, things just come and I'm guided to do things with people. It's important that we understand that not everything has to be written.
Right.
Sometimes they're just guided from God, spirit, creator, whatever you like to call it. It's important that just stop and ask someone, come back to the same thing again. Are you okay today? But simple techniques like that pressure point here, the one by just cupping the back of your head and just working down the neck, and just you keep doing that, and or even just hold. And the other one is you sit on the edge of a chair
Uh-huh.
and you put one hand behind your back and you put one hand over your head, touching the top of your ear, and tilt to one side,
Yeah.
looking up
Mm.
to the left, and you do this, then put your other hand behind your back, then you tilt the other way,
Yeah.
looking up to the ceiling to the right. These simple movements,
Wow.
they might look simple, but you get a lot out of them.
Yeah.
There's numerous other ones that I've been taught recently.
Straighten my frame out here too as well.
What you're doing by tilting one way or the other, you're putting pressure on your kidneys. And where all our emotions trapped? What filters emotions and all sorts of stuff like that? Your kidneys.
Wow.
In our bodies, we can trap all sorts of emotions and feelings. Lungs are usually sort of bitterness and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
When I observe some of my own family members, especially my mother, it's really important that we start to focus on what, not to hold on to anger, bitterness, jealousies, and things like that.
Yeah.
Because they'll then in turn turn into a dis-ease in your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the more you understand to let go, to have compassion and forgiveness for yourself and others,
Yeah.
you'll better understand how to live a better life.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole reasoning behind what we do each week is that through our own experiences in our own lives, we've discovered different tools and techniques that Miriam, Nigel, and myself have discovered to help others. And it's important that we relay these things because we live in a world of stresses and strains, and there's, people like the working poor trying to put food on the table and to keep a roof over their families' heads. So if we can just help one person get through life in the chaotic world that we live in, the world's mental. We can either be joyfully mental or angrily mental. I choose to be joyfully mental.
Yeah, exactly.
Miriam?
Speaking of which, that's SpongeBob.
Yeah. SpongeBob. It's funny. I've got a bronze camel, and I've called it SpongeBob. Miriam, you want to expand on what we were just talking about?
No, yes, it's super important. Take time for yourself. See what you want. Go into yourself and to create, and take time to relax, for me time. Have this kind of exercises to just be yourself, in line with your inner light. Because if we are not in line with our inner self, everything around us will be chaos. So it's so important to take time, see what you want in life, and allow you to be this person. So I love it, Deon. It was quite an interesting exercises. Very simple, but very effective. So it's really good.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
is something we all can use on a daily basis as well. Just small way, how can we find back to ourselves? How can we do something different? Because in a hectic day, it's so much doing all the time. I'm a doer person. I'm not so good to receive the time. So it's so important to take time for yourself. Take a few minutes, seconds every single day, just to relax and do something different. So we can be able to get more inspiration, because when we do this thing, it also opens up new doors in our life and get more inspiration into our life. So to be able to be the best person for self, it's so important.
Those exercises that I've just demonstrated some of are what I do every single morning and 6 days a week.
Wow.
I started doing them 4 or 5 months ago now. And it's become extremely important that I keep doing these, because occasionally things will come up in our own lives.
Yes, sir.
That'll trigger different emotions.
Yep.
And it really concretized in my own mind how important the swim in the ocean that I do at 5:30 every morning.
Wow.
Then the martial arts and the Qigong and the what's called the inner smile meditation after it has become in my own life.
Well, that's what with my project I do. It's bespoke. I've got a lot of tools, and depending on the individual, like what meditation might work for some person and not work for another one. So they've got different. It's bespoke. It's not a one-off It's not a what one package treats all. It's a bespoke for each person because we're all different. We're all different.
That we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. This is beautiful.
So Nigel, is there any other tips or techniques that you can sort of relay that you've discovered in your own life?
Oh, well, quite a few over the years. Personally, I like to have a morning routine. I mean, that again, that's personal to everyone. I think we've all got a routine of some sort in the morning, if we don't think we have. I do. I'm with a company called Arbon. They do a 6:30 Be Well session. It's called. It's only 30 minutes. There's about 90 people on it, and they have a 5-minute meditation. You do journaling, you write gratitude, you write affirmations, you have a dance for 5 minutes, you have a meditation for 5 minutes, you read your book for 5 minutes, and it's if you're an early morning person, but finishes at 7, you sort of set up. I've got a journal here that I use, and if you can, I use a daily journal. I don't know if you can see it with this thing, 5-minute journal.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Nigel, is part of that a setting an intention each day or not?
Yeah, I mean, you can write down your goals. Your goals for the day. Like, oh, I need to do this. I want to do that. You set that through, but not to overwhelm yourself either. By oh, I've got to do this, got to do that. Just the three, priorities. What are the priority things I need to do today? And then, as Miriam was saying about self-care, self-love, that's another thing I want to look at. You need to. I believe in something called, I call it the task reward philosophy. We only get really rewarded when we're working by our bosses. If we work for someone, well, if you work for yourself, you've got to reward yourself. You've got to say, well, I worked hard the last few weeks, and it's come out and it's gone well. I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to go and have a coffee. I'm going to have a meal with a friend. I'm going to buy myself a new shirt, like Kevin, and whatever, or get some new You've got to treat yourself. You've got to pat yourself on the back, I think, as well, and say, well done, Nige. No one else is going to do it.
And another simple technique it's called mirror work. Each time you get up after you've had your shower and sort of got your bits and pieces on, just stand in front of the mirror. I love my hair, my teeth, my skin. You're basically loving all parts of yourself. It's a very simple thing. Standing in front of the mirror. I still do it. No, I've been doing it for 4 years.
Yeah.
Even if you cannot see yourself, if you're vision impaired, even if you cannot hear yourself, if you're deaf, you can always feel the energy coming from you, because the words you say are the words that go out into the universe and it comes back. And if you repeat this every day, you'd be surprising how much different you start to feel.
Yeah.
It seems simple and might seem a bit silly, but who gives a fuck? It's more important that you use simple things like that. It's just called mirror work. You stand in front of the mirror, you might feel like a bit of a dork, but who cares? Fat, thin, skinny, tall, short. I don't know whether you're fat, whether you're pink, purple, brown, or blue.
We've just started, Miriam, myself, and a couple other guys have just started looking at hypnosis, haven't we, Miriam? Self-hypnosis. It's a bit like affirmations, but you do it in a relaxed state. So you reprogram your subconscious mind. I am strong, I am confident, I am losing weight, whatever. And very often affirmations begin with I am. And we can all talk now, oh, I'm useless, I'm not very good. You've got to talk positive.
Wayne Dyer did that a number of years ago.
Wayne Dyer, the Power of Intention book.
Yeah, he did it's an I am statement every morning. He said to do it for 21 days. If you look up on YouTube, Wayne Dyer, I think it's called the I am meditation. Wayne Dyer, I remember doing that myself. And I was at the point in my life I tried everything because I dedicated myself to healing myself.
Yeah.
Because you are capable of healing yourself. Joe Dispenza proved that when he had that accident, came off the bicycle.
Yeah.
Healed his back without anything.
Wow.
Refused the operation.
Wow.
And the things that I've healed in my own life.
Yeah.
Getting my vision to return the central part of my left eye after being blind for 20 years.
Wow.
Healing the hernia I had under my belly button.
Wow. Incredible.
And to go, anything is possible. You're only limited by your own mind.
Right. And lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge, not knowing what to do,
But it isn't, it's not knowledge as such. It's your focus and faith.
Mm-hmm.
We started to talk about faith earlier on this evening. And faith is one thing that it's not focused on enough in schools today.
Yeah, absolutely.
So unfortunately, in this country, the Sunday schools and even sort of religious teachings and things aren't allowed in schools anymore because some bullshit. But teach your kids by example. Show them by example of what's possible. Don't give up. Never give up or give in.
Yeah.
And show them you can be childlike. Have fun with them. Play with them.
Yeah.
Even if you live a busy life, take half an hour out of every day or an hour every day and spend time with your kids.
Yeah.
Instead of them being stuck in a device.
Right. That's right.
We're going to build up a planet full of people that can't communicate without a device in front of them.
Right.
And it comes back to what we said earlier. Are you okay today?
Mm-hmm.
Have times for your kids and family members where they're not using a device.
Right.
Have a device-free hour or two.
Right.
I don't know what it's like. Patrick, is it like that in Uganda or not so much?
Having divorce?
Kids have brought up with a device in their hand or not? A tablet or a phone?
No.
Or not so much?
It's not so regular here. It suddenly came in when there was COVID here and the many kids were studying from home. So some parents here now to get some time. But as time goes on, it has been something which has also affected the way kids behave, the lifestyle, and so forth. But it is up to the parents to try and streamline the way they use it. Give us.
Okay. But and the whole premise of tonight is one thing. Are you okay today?
Beautiful.
It's a simple question.
Yep.
And then even if someone says they're feeling a bit out of sorts, simple. Would you like a hug? Because they're free. They don't cost anything.
Yeah.
But always ask, don't just go up and hug somebody if you might feel like it. But are you okay today and would you like a hug? Because they're free.
Right.
Or even just to, buy someone a coffee and sit and listen. Because if you actively listen to someone who has no one to listen to or has no one in their life that they can relay how they're feeling or what's going on with themselves, buy them a simple cup of coffee. It costs absolutely little, very little, less than, maybe, I don't know what it costs in most countries, but here in Australia, $5-6 for a coffee. Buy them a coffee.
Yeah, right.
Sit down with them. Let them talk about what's going on in their life. You might be the only person they've spoken into in months.
Yeah.
And in some cases, years. I don't know how many people I've come across in the last few years You might be the only person they've spoken to in ages.
Right.
Is if they have someone they could be homeless, they could be someone who has a disability, or they could be from someone from a foreign country.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I've used Google Translate to talk to people, and to just stop and say hello.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt.
Nope.
I've got quite a few people. As a Japanese gentleman, can't speak a word of English. Bangladeshi guy who hardly speaks any English.
Yeah.
And even recently a Japanese lady I met. Just stop and say, "Are you okay today?" Simple question. Doesn't cost anything. We might be the only person that's actually said that or asked them that in could be years.
Yeah.
Miriam, would you like to
Yeah.
extend on to that before we close off tonight?
Yes. I was a little bit sick. I think that's important. By myself, I'm not so good to ask people if they're okay. But I'm a much of a giver. I give more people if they need something, a cup of coffee, if they want to have a talk, or show yourself that you give your time for them, you meet around you on different ways, not how you do things, but how the way you are to people around you. Show that you're kind, that you want the best for them. It creates a relationship with them you meet, and we get so much more back. Like all these lovely people I meet in the star in Cape Verde in Africa, for example, it's amazing. People I never would have met before, but to see that how much it means to just be open for the unknown, to open for them you meet. You don't need to do so much, but just be yourself. Because we're all on this way together. We're all on this path. Trust each other and just be the best version of yourself. We all have been there. We all have need to have someone around us. So just be yourself and just let it be and enjoy the life.
It's Nigel. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
Not really. No, I think we've really gone in depth and covered a lot. Really, I think at the end of the day, I would summarise it. What you've said. Are you okay today? Less is more. Don't ask any more than that. Just if they want to talk, they will. If they won't, they won't.
And it's especially quite often you'll see people looking down to the ground.
Yeah.
They don't want to look directly at people.
Right.
But don't get into their. Some people don't understand this concept. We all have an energy field. Don't step into their field because you might make them feel uncomfortable because they might not be comfortable with someone talking to them,
Right.
depending on where their mental state is.
Well, not everyone likes to be hugged. My mom doesn't like to be hugged. Sometimes I go.
Oh God, no! I've known quite a few people. It's like
they don't like to be
hugging.
hugged.
It's like hugging a mannequin.
I don't know why, but there you go. I like to be hugged, but there you go. We're all different again, as I say. That's why you have to be careful.
Right.
It just just ask the question.
Yeah. That's it.
Start the conversation. Are you okay?
Right.
Would you like
or I just try to see people around me. I just comment them or compliment them for that they're doing. On this way, I can just meet them, see where they are, and get into communication with them. I think the most important part is to see each other. How can you see them you meet? How can we be there for each other? How can we trust and help each other that we are? And when you're open and you give positive compliments for them you meet, it also open up and break down all these walls people can have around them instead. So for me, it's much more easy to just recognize what I'm seeing, what I really like with this person, and tell them that I really see what you do. I really appreciate that. I thank you. You are doing amazing work, or it's a lovely dinner, whatever, something they do for you, that you show them that you see them. Don't need to be so much, but just see around you, recognize them, be there for each other. We need that in our life. We need to hear this word as well, to be seen and to be loved, to feel that we belong, to feel that we are there for each other.
Yeah. Wow.
And every now and then, if you feel so inclined, find a nice coffee shop somewhere and pay forward for a meal and a coffee.
Yeah.
Because you never know, there might be someone that's down on their luck
Right.
or just having a bad day.
Right.
Pay forward for a meal and a coffee.
Yeah.
And make sure that they don't know who it is, so they could. I
Right.
do that with a coffee shop and a cafe around here. No one knows who it is.
Right.
Because there's a few homeless people around here. Sometimes it's someone a bit down on their luck, or they're just having a bad day.
Yeah.
The owner picks and chooses who it goes to.
Mm-hmm.
It might cost you $25, $30.
Right.
I do that quite regularly. My mother did that for years.
Wow.
It's called a random act of kindness.
Yeah.
It's a simple thing, doesn't cost a lot.
Right.
Just do it. I do it quite often, just every now and again.
Yeah.
And just comes back to the same thing. If you see someone that's alone,
Mm-hmm.
simple thing, are you okay today?
Yeah.
If they don't want to talk to you, just accept that and walk on.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
if they're in a wheelchair, stop, look, drop down to their eye level,
Mm-hmm.
say whatever might do. Someone is very laid back in Australia, but
Yeah.
surprising how many people they get surprised that you've actually stopped and said hello,
Yeah.
especially if
Exactly.
it's someone in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And even recently, there was an elderly woman sitting in a wheelchair that I think it was a daughter that had taken her shopping. I just stopped and said, "Oh, how are you going?" She sort of was startled that someone actually bothered to ask
Yeah.
Another,
Exactly.
if she was okay.
remember another good simple thing to talk about with, especially in our country over here. I don't know about yours. Is the weather. You know, we're obsessed with the weather over here, and we'll mention
Yeah.
the weather, and you get conversation straight away,
Yeah.
especially at bus stops or train stations, or if you're traveling somewhere. Oh, I need cold today. Oh, and off you go. You have a whole conversation about the weather. It's freezing at the moment, actually.
And there's an air. You'd be sweating here if you were here. It's totally the opposite end of the stick.
Wow.
So we'll just close off here tonight.
All
For
right.
those out there that are listening to this live, thank you for the listening. Ask someone else, are you okay today? And pay forward for a coffee or a meal every now and again.
All right.
Doesn't.
Yeah.
And then the ones that are listening to the recording, thank you for taking the time to listen to the recording. We do this every week. Yes, sometimes one of us will go on an adventure here, there, or anywhere, because we all need a break.
Yeah.
And sometimes one of us might be not so well, so we need a break. So we might not be here, but there's always one of us here.
Mm-hmm.
We attempt to be here every week, but every now and again we do need a little break every now and again. Thank you for listening. Spread this out through your social media groups.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate your time.
I love it, Deon. Thank you so much. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, before we close out, I want to let you know who these wonderful people are. These are professionals from around the world. I want to let you know how to get in touch with them as well. We have Brother Nigel, ladies and gentlemen. He's over in the UK. Nigel can be reached on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen, and that's Nigel Artist at yahoo.co.uk. But also, Nigel is also on his Facebook channel as well. Also, to Miss Miriam, she's in Norway, ladies and gentlemen. She has Anchor. Her wonderful website is Anchor of Freedom. She's a professional coach as well, anchoroffreedom.com. If you want to reach out to Miriam about some more details and more professional information about what she does, she's anchoroffreedom.com. And we move down to Uganda. We have Brother Patrick. You can reach out to him on Facebook as well, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be glad to share that information with you if you request that. He's in Uganda. But Brother Patrick is on Facebook as well. And then we have Brother Deon Dean Adams, ladies and gentlemen, conscioushealingarts.net, conscioushealingarts.net if you need some more detail and more specific help in these areas as we talk about the global discussion on mental health, illness, but also solutions. And Deon has led us today with some powerful solutions some powerful techniques to help us just relax and enjoy each other. And just to take what Deon said earlier, I want everybody out there to at least ask 5 people today, are you okay? At least 5 people. Ask today, tomorrow, sometime this week, are you okay today? Ask 5 people, folks. Believe me, you'll never know how you'll change a life and even improve your own as well. I thank you so much for that. Wow, that's powerful. Well, Deon, thank you so much. Nigel, Miriam, Patrick, thank you so much for your time today. This is always incredible and just gets better and better. Any final words, Deon?
No, it just comes back to the simple question.
Yep.
Are you okay today? And hugs are free, but always asked. It's always asked.
Very important.
It's just a simple question.
Yes.
It might be something that someone hasn't heard for a long time, but just say, are you okay today?
Absolutely, Deon. Even if you're going to handshake somebody, you might want to ask them first, is it okay to shake your hand? You might want to do that too as well. Use wisdom, folks. Use wisdom because folks are in a different.
Well, it comes down to respect too, Kevin, is important. Respect and acceptance.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know some people get so excited sometimes they just want to hug you. But I said, wait a minute, wait. Yes. Yeah, you gotta have some fun with them.
Personal space, isn't it? Some people don't like the personal space intrusion.
Yeah, exactly. And then we
I think it's important to treat each other the way you want to be treated by yourself. Respect each other.
right.
And you are unique the way you are.
Amen.
And everyone have thing in their life. And
Amen.
you are worthy of love, abundance,
I
and
love
to be seen as well.
Amen. And also, too, we want to give all traveling safety to everybody who's traveling. If you're traveling around the world, have safe travels and enjoy your wonderful life each and every day, folks. I love it.
See you.
Amen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're here on Thursdays, and be looking out on the network there. If you need some help getting that schedule, let me know. You guys hit me up on the DM or contact me on wherever you see this at as well. This will be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the above, TikTok. And we're just excited about you joining us. Thank you so much. And as Deon mentioned earlier, please share this out on all your social media platforms. And we'll see you next time on your global discussion on mental health and illness, but also the solution. How to get better each and every day. Thank you so much, panel. Thank you so much for your time today. God bless.
Bye.
Amen.